You say to me, what good is it then to talk about this, since it has been said that it is useless to think about the pleroma? I say these things to you in order to free you from the illusion that it is possible to think about the pleroma. When you speak of the divisions of the pleroma, we are speaking from the position of our own divisions, and we speak about our own differentiated state. But while we do this, we have in reality said nothing about the pleroma. However, it is necessary for us to talk about our own differentiation, for this enables us to discriminate sufficiently. Our essence is differentiation. For this reason, we must distinguish individual qualities. You say, what harm does it not do to discriminate, for then we reach beyond the limits of our own being. We extend ourselves beyond the created world, and we fall into the undifferentiated state, which is another quality of the pleroma. We submerge into the pleroma itself, and we cease to be created beings. Thus we become subject to dissolution and nothingness. Such is the very death of the created being. We die to the extent that we fail to discriminate. For this reason, the natural impulse of the created being is directed toward differentiation and toward the struggle against the ancient, pernicious state of sameness. The natural tendency is called principium individuationis. Principium individuationis. Principle of individuation. This principle is indeed the essence of every created being. From these things, you may readily recognize why the undifferentiated principle and lack of discrimination are all a great danger to created beings. For this reason, we must be able to distinguish the qualities of the pleroma. Its qualities are the pairs of opposites, such as the effective and the ineffective, fullness and emptiness, the living and the dead, difference and sameness, light and dark, hot and cold, energy and matter, time and space, good and evil, the beautiful and the ugly, the one and the many, and so forth. The pairs of opposites are the qualities of the pleroma. They are also in reality non-existent because they cancel each other out. Since we ourselves are the pleroma, we also have these qualities present within us, inasmuch as the foundation of our being is differentiation. We possess these qualities in the name and under the sign of differentiation, which means first, that the qualities are in us differentiated from each other, and they are separated from each other, and thus they do not cancel each other out. Rather, they are in action. It is thus that we are the victims of the pairs of opposites, for in us the pleroma is rent in two. Second, the qualities belong to the pleroma, and we can and should partake of them only in the name and under the sign of differentiation. We must separate ourselves from these qualities. In the pleroma, they cancel each other out. In us, they do not. But if we know how to know ourselves as being apart from the pairs of opposites, then we have attained to salvation. When we strive for the good and the beautiful, we thereby forget about our essential being, which is differentiation, and we are victimized by the qualities of the pleroma, which are the pairs of opposites. We strive to attain to the good and the beautiful, but at the same time we also attain to the evil and the ugly, because in the pleroma these are identical with the good and the beautiful. However, if we remain faithful to our nature, which is differentiation, we then differentiate ourselves from the good and the beautiful, and thus have immediately also differentiated ourselves from the evil and the ugly. It is only thus that we do not merge into the pleroma, that is, into nothingness and dissolution. You will object and say to me, thou hast said that differentiation and sameness are also qualities of the pleroma. How is it then when we strive for differentiation? Are we not then true to our natures, and must we then also eventually be in the state of sameness while we strive for differentiation? What you should never forget is that the pleroma has no qualities. We are the ones who create these qualities through our thinking. When you strive after differentiation or sameness, or after other qualities, you strive after thoughts which flow to you from the pleroma, namely thoughts about the non-existent qualities of the pleroma. While you run after these thoughts, you fall again into the pleroma and arrive at differentiation and sameness at the same time. Now, you're thinking, but your being is differentiation. Not your thinking, but your being is differentiation. That is why you should not strive after differentiation and discrimination as you know these, but strive after your true nature. If you would thus truly strive, you would not need to know anything about the pleroma and its qualities, and still you would arrive at the true goal because of your nature. However, because thinking alienates us from our true nature, therefore I must teach knowledge to you with which you can keep your thinking under control.